First off, just welcome. Thank you all for showing an interest and coming out today. It's a great turnout. We're very excited to see you all here. Our vision for Waukee is to be a community for a lifetime. We want residents of all ages to feel safe here, to be able to get around, and to have a good home and amenities to enjoy with family and friends. Our role as your city government is primarily to facilitate that good living that we all take pride in. It's having quality roads, water, and sewer infrastructure so you can think about how to get where you're going, dinner out, and getting ready for a big event, rather than the mechanics of how it actually works. It's having police and fire available, not only to quickly respond if you have an emergency, but also to teach our kids, and let's be honest, us as adults too, how to be smart about our safety. It's having resources that are accessible, like books, computers, and even blood pressure kits at the library. It's having opportunities for fun and fresh air and connection at our parks, summer camps, and community events. It honestly warms my heart to see residents out enjoying celebrations like our Winterfest and our Independence Day celebrations. And if you haven't seen thousands of pieces of candy disappear in under 2 minutes, I invite you to attend the Easter egg hunt in Centennial Park. It is astonishing and fun to watch as the kids race for every single last piece of candy. You know, it's fitting that we are all here on Leap Day as we reflect on the last year, because Waukee continues to leap forward. And I think that momentum was especially visible over the last year. Only a few years ago, Grand Prairie Parkway was a grand road that mostly had views of wildflowers and grass. But now, as you exit off I-80, the road feels right-sized. It's filling in quickly with new medical centers that are bringing additional care options close to home, and a new live entertainment venue to draw thousands of visitors, and more retail, entertainment, and restaurants on the way, as well as new housing that will invite more people to enjoy life in Waukee. That visible momentum is not limited to new growth areas. In our downtown triangle, Kenny's Garage added another mural with help from our facade improvement program. Rather perfect timing as we put focus on our public art improvement projects last year. The ice cream shop followed, and that energy to make downtown even more unique and special is growing in momentum. The city was awarded a $100,000 Community Catalyst grant to help transform the Pin Oak building, and we can't wait to see how our downtown neighborhood evolves in the next few years. Part of sustaining momentum is transitioning to new objectives that continue to advance our community. In 2023 and 2024, we're wrapping up some long-term projects that will serve us for many years to come, such as our exciting new public safety facility, major infrastructure expansion, and a master plan for public art. This enables us to transition our attention and resources to lay groundwork for new initiatives that greatly benefit the future of Waukee. We're beginning to plan for a new civic campus, environmental sustainability opportunities, and major road enhancements that will serve our continued need for mobility. It's an exciting time to be here in Waukee, and I am incredibly grateful to have a seat at the table along with my fellow council members, staff, and every single one of you as we plan for the Waukee of our dreams. Looking back at this past year, a few highlights that stand out. We lowered our city tax levy again in 2023, which is the 4th reduction in the last 6 years. And we plan to do so again this year. You can applaud again if you would like. Seeing more come to fruition in Kettlestone has been wonderful and very fulfilling. This large master planned area was expected to take 2 decades to fill in. It's one thing to look at design standards and computer renderings, and quite another to see it actually come to life. With several notable developments currently under construction, I expect to marvel again at this area's growth and next year's state of the city. After announcing our affordable housing project, we received recognition from the state, regional housing groups, and others to say they were excited to follow this uncommon approach to address housing needs. Waukee is unique as the city purchased land and is driving development for new affordable housing. We're also fortunate to partner with Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity on a townhome project unlike their traditional builds. Our new water tower is a visible sign of the investment we're making in the infrastructure that we all count on in our daily lives. It will hold 5 times the water as our current tower.
and our less visible underground water storage reservoir successfully passed its first run last summer. Both projects greatly improve our ability to manage water supply during our high demand times in the summer and will support the future growth of our community. Our police department became the first department in the metro to have the entire staff, all the way up through our chief, complete crisis intervention training. Waukee is proud to see our PD lead the way, and we know that it better enables residents to access support in times of mental health crises. Our library has seen strong momentum in both program participation, and staff continue to spend a lot of time out in the community, bringing resources to those who can't get to the library and forming community connections. Waukee is also blessed to have a beautiful community spirit and deep community pride with our strong local partnerships. This year, our Chamber of Commerce Young Professionals group braved cold weather for a downtown cleanup. Our Citizen of the Year collected hundreds of shoes to help neighbors in need get where they need to go. The Waukee Rotary Club not only donated, but also got out there and planted a butterfly garden in a new area along the heart of the Warrior Trail. You all stepped up with several rounds of voting to help Triumph Park win the Iowa People's Choice Award. Now, we're in the middle of a Helping Hands food drive, and we invite you to join city staff in filling the shelves of our local food pantry. Even with all of this positive momentum, we do face challenges. With the new property tax legislation, we're only able to take advantage of a small portion of our record-breaking new valuation last year. We have a lot of needs to meet, so we can deliver the high-quality services that our residents expect, and including our businesses coming to Waukee each year. For example, we need to add 11 new fire department personnel over the next year for our second public safety building. Despite that funding challenge, we'll be able to meet it because our wonderful staff came together to identify equipment and projects that we could delay or cut in order to make sure public safety is fully staffed. Property tax is a complex system, and changes have far-reaching effects. So we continue to work with other cities, associations, and legislators to illustrate the impact that proposed and passed legislation has on city government and the services we provide. We also want to help taxpayers understand how property taxes affect them. So I am hosting our second annual Property Tax 101 session next month to outline the basics of how property taxes are calculated, as well as how the city spends its portion of tax revenue. So if you all are at least a little bit curious, I encourage you to come join us. I mentioned our affordable housing project as a highlight, but it's faced challenges as well. The city did not make the cut for securing federal housing tax credits to allow the first phase to move forward in partnership with North Point Development. While disappointing, that setback gave us an opportunity to look at other approaches and led to a partnership with Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity. The city is finalizing plans with Habitat that will enable up to 48 families to work towards homeownership, and we continue to work with North Point on their part of the project by reapplying for federal tax credits later this spring. There is a lot more to share, but I'm not going to do it all. So I'd like to invite a few department directors up here to give their highlights. You can tell they're excited. Please introduce yourselves and how long you've been with the city.
My name is Chad McCluskey. I'm the chief of police, and I've been with the City of Waukee for just over 1 year.
My name is Jennifer Brown, and I'm the economic development director, and I've been with the city almost 3 years in May.
My name's Matt Jermier, and I'm the Parks and Recreation Director, and I've been with the city just over 20 years.
All right. So first, and we're going to start with the chief. What is one achievement, milestone, or moment that stands out from 2023?
The police department had some great accomplishments in 2023. One of them was our strategic plan. We went through a process by which every officer had some input from command staff down to the newest officer, and really set a path for where we're going for the next 3 to 5 years. That included some internal reorganization for efficiency's sake. And also some work towards some 10-hour shifts to give us some better coverage and some more officer wellness time included in that.
Jennifer?
Well, one of the City Council's top priority is supporting and growing the existing business community. And I'm pleased to report that in 2023, we had over $100 million in new investment in existing businesses, expanding their footprint in the City of Waukee, one of those I'm sure you've seen their building. Access Systems has a brand new headquarters there on the corner of Alice's Road and Southeast Olson Drive. And then from projects that are still in progress, like Stivers Ford, who is building a new Ford Pro Service Center. It's projects like these that will be adding over 300 jobs to our community over the next couple of years.
Matt?
In 2023, the Public Art Advisory Commission was established by Mayor Clarke. And over that year, last year, they completed their public art master plan. And over the last 2 months, they put out an RFP for our first public art project, which will be located at Tallgrass Pond within the Kettlestone development. And I would encourage you to watch our social media posts here over the next couple weeks, as they will be announcing their first public art piece to be located in Kettlestone.
So that was 2023. What is something you are working on in 2024? We'll start with Jennifer this time.
In economic development, we're working on establishing Waukee as a tourist destination. That'll bring more businesses and more jobs to our community. And we already have a head start with Triumph Park, which all of you know, I'm sure, as a fabulous destination for softball and baseball. But that venue brought over 160,000 visitors in 2023. Another new venue and great asset to our community is Vibrant Music Hall. So we're looking forward to them getting a full year of events under their belt. And of course, that's surrounded by and part of a larger entertainment district, which will also be filled up with a lot of great restaurants, which I know everybody's looking forward to. But we'll also have the first in the state, Aloft Hotel, Marriott branded Aloft, which will be opening up in 2024. To that, also, it will have another sports. We'll be adding to sports tourism, and that will be the Kettlestone Central Complex. From what I'm sure most of you have heard, that will be a 12-court complex under 2 buildings, and we'll also have a full outdoor court as well. So it'll be like a street-style court. So we're excited for that. It's part of a much larger development, a $300 million development, and we'll have surrounding commercial as well. So we know this is a great place to live, but we also want visitors to know that they can come to Waukee for great assets like we're building on and working here in Waukee as well.
Matt?
So we're right in the middle of the Aquatic Center feasibility study. Over the last 6 months or so, we've been gathering public input on what they would like to see as a part of an aquatic center. We've received over 1,700 survey results, providing the design team feedback on what it is the Waukee residents would like to see in an aquatic center. Next week is the second public input meeting where the design team will be coming back with some layouts for public input. So that meeting next week is Wednesday night, March 6th from 5:30 to 6:30. So I would encourage anybody that's interested in an aquatic center to attend that meeting and provide us some feedback.
And just to add on to that, there'll be more information throughout the year as we kind of identify design components and what it might look like, but also whether or not it will go on the ballot as a referendum this fall. So keep an eye out for more information. Chief?
A couple big things for the police department and the public safety field. Number one, the end of March, our CALIA, which is accreditation process. It's the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. It's a national process to essentially declare that our department is professional, has professional policies, is up to date with case law and current operations of the department. We will face the commission the end of March to defend our application. and have high hopes of getting that accreditation, which has been a 2+ year project. And I would be remiss if I didn't reach out for kudos to Abby Christensen, our CLIA accreditation manager in that process. The other thing that's super exciting, of course, is our new building. Both the fire department and the police department are out of space. We had an office that was open for a day, and Chief Robinson was over trying to take it from me. But our investigations division is literally in holding cells. And the new building has a very nice state-of-the-art investigations area. There'll be a conference room where when we have big cases, we're able to secure that area and have discussions about the case in there. The building includes some sustainability features such as solar, and is also designed with officer wellness in mind. Everything from the lighting in the building, the windows, an area for physical fitness and keeping our team safe and healthy.
Perfect. So what is one thing that you want the community to know? I'm going to start with Matt this time.
All right. So as a Parks and Recreation Department, we offer over 100 unique programs, whether you're into sports, whether you're into nature, or senior citizen programming, or family trips. One of the programs that I'm excited for this year is, with the support of our mayor and council, we are rolling out a program called Play It Forward. Play It Forward is a program that will assist those 18 and younger that currently qualify for free and reduced lunches through our school district, and provide assistance in our program registration, up to 2 programs per year. So we know that not everybody can afford some of our programs, but we're excited about this program that will allow anybody and everybody to participate in our programs throughout the year. So if you're interested, or you know somebody that might qualify and would want to take advantage of this program, I would encourage you to visit our website where all the details are there. So,
Chief?
One thing that I would want everybody to know about the police department is that while we do have the enforcement responsibility for enforcing laws and crimes, we would much rather be a collaborative partner for the community and build relationships through trust, integrity, and respect. And so while we do have the enforcement side of things, we also have a very strong community and public relations aspect of that. And, you know, we want to be that collaborative partner with the community, with the businesses, the residents, the visitors, our children, and others in the community, to support the community in any way we can, and not just be a police department.
And if somebody had an idea for a program or something that the police department could get involved in from a community engagement aspect, how should they contact?
Yeah, if there's ideas, thoughts, or questions, you can always call the department, and you can also email police@waukee.org.
Perfect. Jennifer?
I'd like you to know that the Economic Development Department is listening. We are regularly meeting with the business community, partnering with our chamber, and hosting business roundtables. So we really want to get ahead of listening to any barriers to doing business in the community, and also identifying any opportunities, and then taking that back to City Council and also staff, and working with that in our strategic planning sessions to develop any policies or any programs that might make sense in the future. So please feel free to reach out, similar to the mayor's question, to Chief here, that, we want to make sure that we're getting ahead of the game, and we're listening to all of you.
Okay. So those were my questions, but as you all registered, you had the chance to submit questions. We actually received a lot more than last year, and a lot more than we have time to go through today, unfortunately. But I do want to let you know, I'm going to go through in order. If we do not reach your question, please find one of us after the lunch. We'll be around for a little bit, or you can always email the City Council and I directly. Additionally, Heather with our staff, she's in the back in the red. Wait, yeah. She plans to follow up with everyone who submitted a question to make sure you get the answer in the next few weeks. So if we don't answer it here today, you will be reached back out to. Can we get an update on changes made in the triangle after the assessment in 2022? I'm going to turn that over to Jen.
So out of the downtown assessment, which completed back in the fall of 2022, the city staff and myself leading the charge created a action plan. And I think we have been doing pretty well in that action plan, but out of that, we did some short, mid, and range and long range plans and action items, and starting with some cleanup. So I think that there's some themes that came out of that. And the cleanup, we started with, the mayor showed you a cleanup picture, and so we had a district cleanup. So we kind of kicked some of that off with that. We also, with Matt's department's help, we took out some things like some planting baskets that maybe were no longer getting used. And they also did some beautification in the downtown with some planters. In addition to that, we started to look at the wayfinding, the safety of the downtown, and started to work on some goals there. Just recently, we approved some identification, some signs for the downtown, and we're working on some installation and implementation of that process. But some of the long-range plans that came out of that have also been in discussion. We're working with Shive Hattery on some of those that process. Other things that came out of that, and I don't want to belabor some of the things that you've already presented on, Mayor, but we've also worked on promotion of our property improvement and facade program grants, and working with the businesses on letting them know that we have those programs and that they have the opportunity to make some improvements to their businesses. And we've seen a lot of interest in that, but we've also seen them take action. There was also some placemaking opportunity that was called out in the downtown action plan. And you've already seen a lot of that starting to occur with the public art pieces. And so there's a lot of excitement around that with the ice cream shop, with Kenny's, and there's others that are getting excited about that and adding to that. And so there's a lot of movement down there, and those that are getting excited about the downtown, we're activating that. And of course, and again, you've already heard the Community Catalyst Grant. So we're really excited about the downtown. We think we've had a lot of progress in the downtown, and we're excited for what's next. And so I hope all of you are excited about it as well.
And some of those longer range things included some changes to the pedestrian and street flow structure. And so we've started to talk about timing and where that might fit into our improvement plans over the next few years. Number 2. What are we doing to ensure Waukee is affordable for residents across many demographics? I'll take that. It's not easy. This is not a localized problem, though. Nationwide, over 42 million households are cost burdened, which means that they spend over 50% of their income on housing. That is a painful number, and unfortunately, we here in Waukee are not alone, and that we've experienced that as well. What the city can do is a number of things, and a lot of them we've already started on and we continue to work on. First is just making sure that the value of our services for the cost is high. We are actually incredibly efficient in the services we provide compared to neighboring communities and kind of staffing levels nationwide in terms of dollars spent for staffing here in the city. I regularly hear comments from residents about how our staff has gone above and beyond to help them with things, and that will absolutely continue to be part of our efforts to make sure that you're getting what you pay for. I already mentioned we've lowered our property tax levy 4 times, and we continue to look at ways to continue to do so, and will be this year. We've been encouraging development across the price point spectrum. So we've done a lot over the last few years to look at ways to work with developers to allocate portions of their housing areas that could have smaller lot sizes. Smaller homes may not have the same requirements as all other residential areas, things along those lines. We've worked on an affordable housing project and continue in that effort, and we'll be discussing ways to make that a more common component of our efforts. And then last is just continually reviewing our service fees. So for the programs that we offer, whether that's our Parks and Rec, and looking at ways we can offer more affordable aspects of that, whether it's our golf course, et cetera, we regularly compare to our neighboring communities and try to moderate where possible. If there is something you would like to have us take a look at, please don't hesitate to reach out. Next question. How do you balance the time, funds that are spent on new areas of Waukee with the original or older areas? Yeah, it's a continual focus of balance, and that's across our entire budget. Prioritization is really important, and looking at balance across where we're spending dollars. I think it's important to note that we do spend a lot of areas and our dollars in the more established areas of Waukee, but it doesn't necessarily look the same. So in more established neighborhoods or areas, it's going to look a lot more like maintenance than it does maybe along Grand Prairie Parkway. And as newer areas become more established, that'll shift toward maintenance. So some examples in the last year, Jen already talked about the downtown assessment that we did, which we've just approved looking at new signage, new benches and trash cans down there, our facade improvement program, Pin Oak public-private partnership that we've contributed to. We've looked at those future pedestrian and road components there and programmed those into our COP tentatively for 2026. From Parks and Trails perspective, we've extended the Heart of the Warrior Trail. We've added the new trailhead along Ashworth Drive. We have almost $1 million in improvements planned for Centennial Park. On the infrastructure side, we have dollars allocated every year for maintenance. And in the last year, the Ashworth Drive overlay occurred. We also replaced the water mains in Green Acres. So there are a lot of things that we do on a regular basis, but it doesn't necessarily look like a brand new entertainment district in the heart of downtown. It just looks a little different. If there is, I'm going to say this again, like I did on the cost issue, if there is an area that you'd like for us to take a look at in terms of maintenance, please always reach out. Are there plans to increase the golf course to 18 holes? And I am turning that over to Matt.
I will take that one. I get this question a lot. As the mayor said in her opening remarks, the City of Waukee is starting the master plan process for the Civic Campus. Those that don't know, the Civic Campus is located, or will be located, just west of the golf course on 225 acres. We are kicking that process off right now, and we will be, throughout that process, evaluating spatial needs that might flow over into that Civic Campus for the establishment of another 9 holes for the golf course. So that will be part of the conversations as it relates to the Civic Campus master plan.
There will be opportunities for input on the Civic Campus planning process as we get a little bit further along in it. So if you are one of the ones I hear about that is gung-ho about an 18-hole golf course, you'll want to make sure to come out and have your day to speak on that for sure. What challenges face the city to handle rapid growth? Sorry, I think I need more water. I'm going to start with the chief on this one.
With the growing city and the speed which we're growing, both on the police and fire side, it's keeping up with the increased calls for service, the increased needs, while balancing the resources we have. We're fortunate to have supporting council, elected officials, city administration, and a community. But there is a budget and there's only so much we can do at a time. So keeping up with not only the increased resident growth, but big box stores coming in, the recreational complex coming in, the concert venue, and handling all those calls with scarce resources or very efficiently with the resources we have is our primary challenge.
Mm-hmm. I would just add to that I think something that people don't realize is that we spend approximately 60% of our general fund budget on public safety. And so as we continue to grow, that number definitely isn't decreasing. And we're continuing to look at how do we add resources, how do we add staff in the way to best meet kind of diverse needs across our community. And that's a critical issue. On the other side are infrastructure challenges. We have approximately $175 million in road projects that are needed. How do we stage those out? How do we prioritize them? How do we plan for them effectively and efficiently? Those continue to be really primary challenges for us at the city, and that's not the only thing that's needed. It's just a number that usually surprises people, so I share that one. But so that's something that I think continues to be a challenge as we grow, but something our staff has proven adept at handling and really excellent at managing around. So the next question, how is the city connecting with residents in our increasingly diverse community? I'm going to start with the chief on that, but then move to Matt.
So this is one of the areas that I think I'm most proud of with our department, is that I feel we do an exceptional job in reaching out and connecting and engaging with the community. Doesn't matter who they are, old, young, whether they're from here, from another state, from another country, whatever that is. We have one officer on staff who speaks 6 or 8 languages, I think. We've got a number of female officers, but we also have a ton of opportunities for community engagement, for people to learn more about us, for us to learn more about them, and to realize that we're people just like everybody else. And some of those opportunities include the Citizens Academy, our Waukee area seniors and police program that's quarterly, where we do some updates there and some educational outreach. Our school resource officers and the relationship we have with the schools is huge. And also something else I'm very proud of is our crisis intervention team. And I think the mayor mentioned a little bit about that earlier, but we literally are the standard for that in the state right now. And our team has been incredibly successful. They do great work, and they're outstanding at mitigating some of these incidents with people in crisis who simply need resources and helping out with that. So those are some of the ways that the police department in particular is ensuring we're connected.
Matt?
Yeah, when thinking about diversity and inclusivity, I think about our Play It Forward program that I talked about a little bit ago, making sure that everybody can participate in our programs. I think that was a long time coming, and I'm very happy about that program and the ability to not have those barriers, whether it's financial barriers, get in the way of someone participating in our programs. We have a phenomenal Miracle League program out there at Triumph Park that continues to get bigger and bigger every year, with over 6 teams out there. And we know that that population continues to be underserved. And so we're looking at ways that we can partner with other outside groups such as Can Play to also add additional programming such as flag football, soccer, track and field, and those types of programming for our individuals in our community with special needs. So we look forward to adding as many programs as we can possibly do, but a lot of those programs, we need special expertise, and so that's why partnerships with Can Play is so important to our department.
I think Matt also mentioned earlier that we have over 100 unique programs that serve whether you're a toddler or a senior, whether you're athletically inclined or, like my family, not so much. There's pretty much, if you have an interest, we have a program that meets it. So I'm very proud of the work they do. We have time for a couple more questions. There's one, is there a plan to expand the library to hold more books and media and allow for more bigger children's and adult learning groups? We're proud of the library. We've heard for years, I'm paraphrasing, it's a very long question. For years, a new library was coming, but our population has outgrown the one we have. Yes, there's conversation around that, particularly with regards to the civic campus planning, whether or not a new library may be included in that. That's still to be determined. Again, if you are interested in that and would like to see that be a component, I encourage you to come out and have some public comment in and around what city facilities should be added there. And we'll do one more, and then we'll try to get you all out of here on time. This one we already answered. What other businesses, stores will be in the area where Target is going to be located? Well, I can't say all the specifics, but there are several restaurants and stores planned. I would encourage you to keep an eye out for more information from that development. A lot of letters of intent have been signed by businesses and restaurants throughout that area. However, they haven't necessarily been made public yet. What I'm most excited about for that area is actually the public components. So the addition of trails, a pond, the amphitheater, ways to engage in that area that aren't just about shopping, but also offer amenities as you're out there shopping or eating. I don't know about you, but keeping my kids engaged for more than an hour is always a struggle. And if I can send them out to play on the trail, I will. So there are going to be a lot of opportunities for the community to engage with that space in ways that go above and beyond shopping. So keep your eye out for that. With that, I'm actually going to try to get us out of here on time. So will you please join me in thanking our lovely directors for joining us today? Perfect. Well, I have just a few more comments about what you can expect here in 2024. We really hit the ground running in 2024, and there's a lot that we're working on to pursue that vision of a safe, beautiful hometown that everyone can enjoy at all stages of life. As always, the council and I work closely with city staff to ensure that we're in a strong position financially. To that end, our credit rating was actually upgraded last year, which actually saves us money on interest on bond payments. So in case you didn't know that, that's all due to the work of our staff in keeping us in a strong position. We work hard to prioritize, seek funding, and maximize value of the dollars we spend so that our government remains fiscally sound. When we compare Waukee to other cities of similar size, it's truly impressive what we managed to accomplish with our resources. Here are a few priorities that we're devoting time to. Supporting the Waukee businesses is a constant commitment for us. You heard from Jen about the roundtables. We will continue to partner closely with the Chamber on business roundtables to understand both challenges and opportunities so that the city can determine if and or where we can help. For example, we recently completed a transportation survey with our businesses and are exploring ways to support businesses and having access to a strong workforce pool. We're beginning an environmental sustainability plan to identify more ways to make smart choices for city facilities that reduce negative impacts. The council and I do our best to be responsive to resident feedback and requests, which is why the Aquatic Center feasibility plan is happening. That is something that we have heard about a lot in the last 3 years. As the feasibility study wraps up, we are keen to be able to let voters decide if adding an aquatic center is worth the investment. There is a lot happening in Waukee, so I'll share just a few things to keep your eye on as well. Our first major public art installation will hopefully spark conversations and connections, as you heard about from Matt. The new hotel in Keytown Loop will give visitors a place to stay where they come to play a tournament at Triumph Park, see a show at Vibrant Music Hall, or celebrate with family. Hotel capacity is a critical component to positioning Waukee as a regional destination, so we continue to focus on that. I'm eager to see the results of our special census this summer. If you aren't aware, we are doing another census. We believe that the population is notably higher than the estimates, and that has a direct impact on funding. So it will be interesting to learn how many residents we truly have. If you are a resident, please, please, please respond. Thank you. As Target opens and fulfills a wish of many, no, I do not have the grand opening date for you. Please do not ask. We will also get to enjoy public amenities such as trails, the fishing pond, and the amphitheater, which I just mentioned. In Central Iowa Waterworks, this is something that has been like 8 years in the making, is a new regional water utility for the majority of the Des Moines Metro that will better enable planning for the future infrastructure across the entire region. We are closely tied to our neighboring communities, and so this new entity will help us share responsibility for managing critical resources and addressing the complex challenges associated with providing water. While the City Council and I are always thinking about the long-term future of Waukee and what will be needed long after I'm gone, this year has a strong sense of anticipation about it as we think about some big initiatives that residents won't see for a few years. So I look forward to seeing you all next year. That's a hint to come back, just so you know, as we talk about the outcomes from some of those things this year, like our Aquatic Center feasibility study or the master plan for the Civic Campus. And we outline the new next steps to expand university and connect it as a main thoroughfare across our city. We need engaged residents and business leaders like you to help our community flourish. So thank you all for showing your engagement and coming out today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.